G'day guys, Joel mate, Big J here, and welcome to another edition of Aussie Boxing Talk, the show that literally punches you right between the fucking eyes. And today we're going to be talking about one Andrew Moloney, 28-4, who will be having what will be no doubt his last opportunity to become a world champion when he takes on Will Garcia Perez for Perez's IBF 115 title belt in an event that will be held in Japan this weekend. It will be on the 6th of June, which will be a Saturday because Japan's only an hour ahead of Australia. So it will be on a Saturday night. And this will be no doubt Andrew's last opportunity at 35 years of age to get himself a legitimate world title. So a bit of a background on Andrew. He's been boxing, well, he's 35 now, so he's boxed for about 15 or so years. Was been on the scene for a long time, but really come to the public eye on the Paul Gallen versus Barry Hall card in 2019, November of 2019, when he defeated Elton DeHarry to become the WBA interim Superfly 115-pound champion, and shortly after that he would be promoted to the regular champion. Then he would go on during COVID to have his trilogy with Joshua Franco. Yep, Joshua Franco. The record shows it's two victories to Franco, one no contest, where it should be 2 victories to Franco, 1 win to Moloney, because he absolutely won that second fight in 2 rounds. It was an absolute disgrace. What a joke. I mean, Shakespeare couldn't write a more tragic story than what happened to Andrew Moloney in his career, especially in that second Franco fight. Shakespeare couldn't write that. Like, he had a punch. They took half an hour to bloody figure it out, which they fucked it up. They made the NRL bunker look like they were fucking geniuses. They took half an hour to... It was a clear punch and they ruled it a headbutt. They declared it a no contest. Franco retained his title when Andrew should have got it back and become a legit champion. They screwed him out of it. It was a fucking disgrace. It really was. It's still to the biggest screw job an Australian's ever seen. Probably one of the world's biggest screw jobs. Everyone always says that Jeff Fenech got screwed against the Zoom Announce #1. Well, Andrew Moloney surpasses it. Holy, what a fucking debacle. Bloody hell. Anyway, about 3 years later, Andrew would go on to fight Jinto Nakatani for his WBA Super Flyweight Championship. Unfortunately, Nakatani beat the ever-living piss out of Andrew. He was sent out in the last round, which I really still think that his trainer, Angelo Hyder, has a lot to answer for, because Andrew, in the last 15 seconds, was damn near fucking decapitated. Go back and watch the fight. It's one of the most brutal knockouts you will ever see. Bloody awful. I think Angelo Hyder has a lot to answer for. Why did he send him back out there? He'd been knocked down multiple times. He wasn't going to pull off the Jeff Harding. If you remember, Jeff Harding was in a similar situation against Dennis Andrews #1. Jeff pulled off the upset, and Andrew almost got damn near decapitated. Fast forward a couple of years ago, when he fought the Mexican fighter, whose name I can't remember. I think his name was Perez Guevara. And again, Andrew got screwed out of the win. It was for the WBC interim title. I think the winner did go on fight Ben Rodriguez. I thought Andrew won the fight. The cards were 116, 111 to Andrew, and 2 cards, 115, 113 to the Mexican. I thought Andrew won the fight easy, but the judges disagreed. I mean, as solid as a career as Andrew Moloney's had, he's been screwed time and time again. I mean, I really hope he gets this done, because if there's anyone out there that deserves to get a legit world title belt, it's Andrew bloody Moloney. Seriously, I mean, he's 35 years old. He's been boxing since I think the time he was 5 or whatever. I'm pretty sure he medalled at the Commonwealth Games, one of them. If anyone deserves a world title belt around their waist, it's Andrew Moloney. I mean, his brother Jason did get the WBO, but this would surpass Jason because the fella that he's fighting is a legit champion. Even though he was a paper champion, he has defended it. And this would get Andrew the legitimacy of his career that he's always wanted. So, on to his opponent, who has a record of 23-6-2. So they've got about the same fight experience. Perez has lost a few more fights. Well, he's got, six losses and 2 draws. So he's had about 8 fights not go his way. He's had 23 wins, but he hasn't been defeated in about 4 or 5 years. I don't think he's lost since 2020. So he's on a bit of a roll. Not much of a punch. It was a very, very winnable fight. The last time Perez actually lost was against Paul Butler, who himself was a former WBO bantamweight champion. So Perez has been in there with some legit competition. So has Andrew. I mean, Andrew's resume is better than this Perez guy, but unfortunately, all the big fights he's had, he's lost. So, can Andrew get it done? Yes, he can. Will he get it done? I bloody well hope so. I'm going 50-50 because I've never seen this Perez guy fight, or I've been told from the people that I know in the know, they say, yeah, it's a winnable fight for Andrew and he can to get it done, and I bloody hope so. Where would this put Andrew if he wins? Well, by default, he automatically goes to the number one male fighter, because we have no male champions at the moment. Jai's been stripped. Paro doesn't fight for another couple of weeks. Tim's not fighting for a title next. The girls are going great guns as always. The girls are kicking ass at the moment. We have Shanika is undisputed, the bantamweight. Sky's just been promoted to 122, even though I don't agree with it. At WBC 122 champion, so she's a 2-time 2-division champ. Kay Scott as the WBA and WBC middleweight champion. Of course, Deadly Robinson, who just successfully defended her titles. IBF and WBO. So, yeah, the girls are going great. Now, the IBF has been pretty kind to Australia over the years, because I think there's been about a dozen fighters who have won belts with the IBF. If I remember correctly, Jeff Fennick at bantamweight, Barry Michael, Robbie Peden and Lester Ellis all at super feather, Billy Dibb at super feather, Daniel Gill at middleweight, Sam Solomon at middleweight. So there's 7 men. The girls, Susie Ramadan at bantamweight, obviously, and Susie Ramadan. Shanika Johnson's a 2-time legit, because she won IBF Super Bantam and IBF Bantam, so she's 2-time. Of course, Desley at middleweight, bantamweight, Ebony Bridges. So that's got to be about a dozen. What? Fennick, Lester Ellis, Barry Michael, Billy Dibb, Daniel Gill, Sam Solomon, Robbie Peden. That's 7 men. And the girls, Bridges, Ramadan, Robinson, Johnson. So about, yeah, it's about a dozen fighters from Australia that have won. I mentioned Billy Dibb. It's about a dozen fighters who have become world champions with the IBF. WBC, I think it's about 6. WBA might be about 4. WBO, 2 or 3. The only male has been Jeff Horn. Females, Erin McGow, Desley Robinson. I think that's it. I think, no, Louisa Horton may have won one in the lighter weights as well. But anyway, getting off track. So, can Andrew Moloney get it done? Yes, he can. This is a very winnable fight. Remember, Andrew Moloney is a very experienced fighter. He's fought the top-tier talent. Before he got knocked out, he went 12 rounds with Jinto Nakatani. Right, 12 rounds. So, he's been busy. He's been a lot more active. Andrew has fought the last 6 months. He fought at the end of last year, where this guy hasn't fought in almost a year. I'm just looking at his record here. When did he last fight? Around this time last year, 23rd of May last year. So he hasn't fought in over a year, where Andrew's been a lot more active. So even though I think the champion has a slight advantage, I think Andrew can get it done, because they're also on neutral ground. This is a Mexican versus an Aussie in Japan. So it's neutral ground. I mean, yeah, the last time Andrew fought a Mexican fighter, it didn't go so well, but I think he can get the job done, because he does have experience with Mexican fighters. I think he can get the job done. If anyone does deserve to get it done, it's Andrew Moloney, because I'd love to see him get that world championship. It'll put him even temporarily, even if Liam Paro wins in a couple of weeks on the 24th and becomes the 147 champion after beating Lewis Crocker, Andrew Moloney can at least say for 18 days that he was the #1 fighter in Australia. I know people are going to say, oh, what about Jai? He never lost his belt and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, that's true, right? But the fact of the matter is Jai does not have a belt, and that's bullshit. Yeah, but even so, you've got to give your tip to the hat to Andrew Moloney. Say, yeah, mate, you're on top. Enjoy it. Because if all goes well, Liam Paro will have a belt in a couple of weeks as well. So, anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. What do you think? Do you think Andrew's got a chance? I honestly think he does. Where would you put him in the pound-for-pound rankings? Quickly, pound-for-pound rankings at the moment for me. 1 would be Jai. Now, active fighters. I'm going to say active fighters are guys who have fought 12 months or less. So, 1 would be Jai. 2 would be Andrew at the moment. 3 would be Liam Paro. 4 would be Tim Zhu. 5 would be Sam Goodman. 6 would be, he hasn't fought in a while, but George Kambosos Jr. I think he has fought less than 12 months ago. Even though I'm not quite sure what's going on with George. Liam Wilson would be there. Would be in the mix. Jason Maloney. I'm not quite sure when's the last time he fought. Maybe it was a year, so he's out. But anyway, there's but when people put Justice Huni in there, I'm just like, no. Justice Huni is not a top 10 fighter in Australia. Not even close. There's other guys that you could throw in there, and Justice Huni's just not there. Anyway, guys, where would you put Andrew if he wins on the weekend? Your thoughts on how the fight should go? Honestly, do you think Andrew has a chance? Would this surpass his brother? As always, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Drop your comments in the comment section. Jackal Bull, Wrestler, Croc, harden yourself the fuck up, and we'll see you again another day.